sorry guys, thanks for being so patient. I'm having technical difficulties this morning. I set this up a little bit differently so that it won't wobble when I touch the desk. So just trying to get it set up, and then it wouldn't go to landscape. So I think we're in business now though. Thumbs up if it looks okay on your side. It looks okay. I have it up over on my tablet too, so it looks much better. So anyway, so good morning. Thank you for joining me. Today I thought it would be very fun to do a art journal page about home since we're all at home. So real quick, this morning I made some little stamps, and I wanted to show you my process. Hi Erica, good morning. And I drew them out. I did go outside and draw my house, and I thought, well, that's way too complicated. I don't think I want to do a stamp like that. So I went really simple. And I did some with the door totally gone, and then I just did some with the line. I don't know if you guys like to carve stamps, but helps me to draw it out and then color in what I want to keep, and then that way I know what to carve out. My brain just won't always flip like that, so that's how I decide to. So I did 3 different sizes. I wanted some variation. I kind of actually might have liked that one a little smaller, but it's okay. It looks nice together. I like them. And I'm going to use some distress ink. I really like this color, Antique Linen. And I'm going to show you how I would create an art page using these stamps. So we will get to this here, and here's the spread I did last night. If you didn't catch it live, the replay is up, and it was a lot of fun. And this is my handmade journal. So just some, I think it's called corrugated cardboard that I got in a mailer, and I used wax thread, and I sewed in some watercolor paper, 140 pound. And because it is so thick, each signature technically has 2 sheets, but you fold it in half. If you put a whole bunch in there, it starts to stick out, and you could trim them down. But I just make them sort of small. And I think I'll skip this one and go to here for this one. I'm gonna clamp it down. This stitch is nice. It's the button stitch, and it'll lay flat for you, once it gets worked in. But I'm gonna clip it since we'll be working with water. So how are you guys this morning? Are you journaling? Good morning, Olina. I hope I'm saying it right. Thanks for being here. And if you guys are on Instagram, feel free to put your Instagram handle or your YouTube channel up, and we can go check each other's art out. So I like to add a little clear gesso to the page. It gives you really cool textures. I'm gonna turn we have nice daylight, but I'm gonna add a little more light. There we go. And then we'll throw some stamps on here and do some loose watercolor and stuff, and maybe a little bit of writing. So let's see here. I'm gonna start out with some gesso on the page. And you don't have to use the gesso. I like it for 2 reasons. It creates cool texture. And all right, Alina will find you on Instagram. And if we haven't already connected. And then I like the gesso because it creates a cool texture. And also because then you can lift up the watercolor a bit too if you want to, or the writing or anything. And some media go better over gesso as well. The watercolor, of course, is fine on the watercolor paper, but I just really like that texture. And so I don't put a thick coat or anything, and it dries really fast. And I don't know if you can see it where it's shiny, but it's not all over the page. It's just in spots, and that's part of what makes the fun textures. Oops, I got some paint on there. There we go. So a lot of times I pre-gesso. I think maybe last night I might have pre-gessoed, but I wanted to show you. And you can put this on with your finger, however you want. Just a light layer, and I don't put it everywhere. And you can be real intentional with it, like if you wanted some textury trees, like up here, you could just put it up there. So that's fun. And I'm gonna dry this real quick. Ranger Heat It craft tool. It's pretty quiet. So I know Erica, I'll speak for her a little, she could type down there. I know she really likes watercolors. And Olina, what do you like? Mixed media, watercolor? What's your favorite art medium to use? Let's see, so for composition, I like to do odd numbers. Looks nice. I might jumble these around a bit or just in the corner here. Let's see. Kind of like that. Welcome to everyone who has joined. Good morning. Fun way to start the day. Thanks for being here. Little art journal party. How many of you guys are journaling right now, or are you just looking for some inspiration? Or oh, great, Alina, thanks. Yeah, I have a portrait class, and I have another class on there now as well. It's has some landscapes. It's a looser watercolor class, kind of taking your photographs and creating some watercolors. And I just released on my channel, I don't know if you guys got to see it for free, I did some life book lessons in, I believe it was 2018. And I did a portrait there. It's more whimsical, so if you want to check that out, it's totally free. And I did two kind of portrait ones. One's less focusing on the portrait, it's more a character. And then there's one that's just some like text with, so it's 3 lessons. It's text inside of a heart, and then it all goes together though. So if you want to check those out, those are all on my YouTube channel, and I set those free, I don't know, maybe a week ago. So if you haven't had a chance to see them, those are available for you while you're at home. Try some new things out. Let's see, how many of you guys are at home for work and stuff? Oh yeah, Erica's gonna go live here soon on YouTube. She's getting set up for that, so that's exciting. She does water, well, you may speak to it better here, Erica, but she does mermaids and all kinds of cute whimsical characters and sweet treats like cupcakes and things, and she has a little digital planner. It's very cute. Let's see. Oh, nice. Yeah, so you're just at home. That's great. So you can have time for your art, huh? So I'm going to go ahead and dry that because it's pretty wet. And you're funny. Well, yeah, it's easier to talk than type, I think. But so I want to go with a color scheme here, and I don't know if you guys, I talked about composition in my last live, and I'll do a little bit again. So colors right next to each other, and the color wheel play real nice together. Complementary colors will create mud, which sometimes you might want to neutralize the color a little bit or dull it down. You can use its complement to do that. You just want to, you know, be aware. So I'll show you some of that if you're interested. But like right now, I want to throw in some nice yellowy and green colors, and those will play well together since they're right next to each other on the color wheel. And then I'm going to throw in some pink and blue. The blue would be okay with the yellow and green, but the pink with the green would be where you want to be careful. So I just want to throw in like, maybe like, I don't want it to be defined, but I kind of want this to be like, maybe the idea of sunshine up here. Just an idea, not anything real defined. And I do want to make some, I'm kind of keeping in mind, I do want to make some house shapes out of the watercolors too. So keeping that in mind and doing that really loose. Okay, and then, yeah, this is, I believe it seems, yeah, it's waterproof. So that Tim Holtz distressed ink. So ink is typically waterproof as long as it is dry. You can move it around when it's wet. Now it's on gesso, so it may pick up. See that? Which is fine by me because I like things a little less defined. But if the gesso wasn't there, it'd probably be stuck down. And there's parts where gesso isn't, and you'll see that. So the gesso, I don't know what it is about it, but it acts as a buffer between the paper, so it doesn't absorb into the paper, and it's almost like plastic or something, so you can wipe things off in a way. Not as well as you could on like a plastic film or something, but you can do that. So something to keep in mind. And then the green here. And I like sap green. I do mix it and tone it down a bit so it looks a little more realistic with like a burnt sienna color. Just feels a little more natural and real, unless you want a real vibrant bright green. And I sometimes will add a little blue to that as well to get your darker green. So like say ultramarine blue, it's very nice with that. And I don't always like how my flick does that, so just lift some of it out. Okay, and it's like creating some like trees back there. Real loose though. Just a hint, an idea of it. I'm trying to be somewhat abstract, but our mind is definitely going to say, oh, houses and trees. Okay. So loving this, and I was thinking about adding pink, which if I do, it's going to be a little bit. But you see these lovely textures happening. That would not exactly go down like that without the gesso. And then I'm going to add some lunar blue, Daniel Smith lunar blue. It will granulate really pretty. I like lunar blue. I made some Christmas ornaments. I was in a craft fair. And it's a holiday one at my son's school this year. And I made some watercolor ornaments. And I used a lot of lunar blue. It's a good winter color. It's pretty. Let's see. And if you guys want to try any of these techniques and you want to connect over on Instagram, I was doing a hashtag, oh man, what is it? Stay at home art party. Or you can also tag me, and I'll see what you're doing. But if we want to, it'd be fun to form a little community and we can all see everything. So that's stay at home art party. And we can watch each other's journals evolve over this time of social distancing, although we're not social distancing. I guess we're more physical distancing because we'll always find a way to be social, right? We're social creatures. Let's see here. We will find a way to connect. Let's see. And then last night I was talking about negative painting too, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to dry this and then I'll show you some negative painting. Okay, so see how that house roof line kind of disappeared basically. So we're gonna paint around it. So so we'd be painting the positive shape if we painted the house back in. We're negative painting if we go behind it and try to bring that back in. So to do that, I'm gonna grab some of the green and go behind the house shape there. And get that to pop again. And I want to vary my colors a bit. And then I want to go in with a damp brush and get rid of that hard edge out here so it blends back with the background. There we go. And then there's that house again. Then up there I'm getting kind of a triangular shape, which maybe we'll make that into another house, or I'm not sure if I love where that's located, so I might change it a bit, but yeah, so there's that. And then I might do I think I'll do a touch of this yellow right here, just a little bit. Okay. Pretty. Take some of the yellow. There we go. Okay, and then lost a bit of that house shape as well, so get it back. Same way. And let's see, it'd be fun to have. What do we want to do? Sometimes I just kind of look and see if something's trying to appear, and then I'll negative paint around it and help it show up. Like maybe a little cloud or something over here would be fun. So I could kind of see a little cloud shape there, and I don't want to define it too much, but a little bit. There. Maybe add a little shadow to it. Just a hint. And down here, I like this texture how it's darker green and it really looks like trees, and I look how naturally that just came to be. So here's the trick of trying to keep that feel, but add some more because I like it. Welcome. It looks like we have some new people joining. If you're on Instagram, go ahead and add your Instagram handle and we can see your art in your page, or if you teach, or any of your information, website. We're just creating a little page about home since we're all staying home for right now. Thought it'd be fun, so we did a little stamping, and now we're doing some watercolor. And then we'll do a little writing here in a minute. And if there's any hard edges here, so this is a hard edge, whereas these are soft edges where they blend. You don't like it, you can try to fade it or add a little bit of something by it so it's not so obvious. There we go. All right, I'm gonna dry this and add some writing, maybe some whites. Okay, so now I like to add with my fountain pen writing or my Signo white pen, sometimes pencil, but it's kind of shiny, the lead, and so I don't always like to do that. I like to keep things kind of matte. So, composition-wise, I talked about this in my other live stream yesterday. You can keep in mind like the L shape, cruciform shape. Those always look nice. Circle, triangular, things like that. And leaving some white space is always nice. You want some restful areas. And restful area doesn't always have to be white. It's just calmer. It doesn't have all the details. So you want to have a nice balance of those things. So like the writing, you know, this is a pretty strong focal point just because we have the darker color here. We have definable shapes. The eye's going to go there because the brain knows what that is. And we can even create a little more focus here. I may go actually a little bit more here. Okay. And my son's hanging out here. He has some YouTube videos on too. He paints in watercolor and does a great job explaining what he's doing. He is 8. You want to say hi, Sawyer?
Hi.
Yeah. So he's watching, following along here. Let's see. So he has 2 videos on our channel here. He does a watercolor. It's really fun under the sea one. And he also did an Inktober. He did a really cute, what was it, a catacorn or something? It was a candy corn cat or something.
Yeah, candy corn cat.
Yeah, it's really fun, really cute. Oh, Erica says hi.
Hi.
All right. I might just add a little more yellowy right about here. And I talked about this in the last one. I like when you can look back at the video and see, oh, maybe I should have stopped there and not done that. So helps you to get your style and what you like set. Which I almost always have been doing a little more than I probably would have wanted to. It's okay. Learning when to stop is something that comes in time, I'm sure. So when I'm doing stuff like this and it's not planned, that's when I have the trouble. On a piece that's, you know, like if you're doing a portrait or something, that's, you kind of know when on those, but let's see here. So I want to let this dry and we'll do that writing like I said earlier. It totally is, Alina. You know, I should tell you guys this. I wouldn't even do art journaling for a long, long time. So funny. Because I wanted to try all these different kinds of arts, and you know, you want your art journal to look perfect. I don't know if you guys are like that, but anyway, I made like, I don't even know how many journals, so like 10 or something. So I made this journal, I made these journals, and Peg and All, it's P-E-G and A-W-L. They've been doing some really cool bookbinding tutorials for free online. I think they call it the Quarantine Bookbinding Club or something like that. And I bought this one. This is a kit you can buy from them. But the rest I just made from stuff I have. So it's like the wax thread and then washi tape or, you know, fabric remnants. And I made a whole bunch. So I decided, okay, you know, sometimes I feel like I want to have that real minimalistic neutral color look, but then I see this gorgeous art that's so bright and beautiful, and it makes me so happy. I love those bright colors. So I was like, you know, okay, how about if one journal is the bright colors, one can be the more minimalist, one can be abstract, one could be this more mixed media stuff like what Dina Wakely does and Jane Davenport does. That way, whenever I just pick up that journal that's in that theme and I do that, and then before you know it, you know, because I've always wanted to have all these full journals. And so before you know it, then you're going to have a whole bunch of full journals, and there'll be different themes, and maybe you'll find that you love doing a certain type of art the most, or maybe you'll just get to do them all, you know. And I thought, well, it's better than doing nothing and just keep wanting to do something. So that's what I decided, and so now here we are, and this is fun and it's great. So anyway, so this is dry, and down here I might do a little bit with like a mark making tool, like a Inktense or something. Hope it comes out cool here. Oh, it's gonna be good. And just really loosey-goosey here. And I think I went green. So this color, if you like, burnt orange, and this one, it's leaf green. And if you haven't used these, they're fun. They activate with water as well. Or you can just leave them. You could do something fun like that. So things up close have a lot more detail, and then if things fade back, they're a little blurrier. That's how our sight is. So something you can use in your journaling as well, if you like. And as it goes back, it's going to have a lot less of the detail, so you wouldn't do as much. Yeah, you know, I think it's fun, and that way you don't get all stuck in your brain, and you can go do something, and it's not such a big deal anymore, especially when you have so many journals. Then they're not so precious either. I just had all these stacks of watercolor paper, and I was like not using them because I was using the full sheets and tearing them down, and so I was like, I need to do something, so I'll use these. And so I just tore them apart, pulled all the pages out, and folded them into sizes I liked. And it was a process, you know, just one day was tearing them all out and folding them, and then another day I'd pick one up and I would, you know, if I started watching TV, it was all ready to go. I'd poke the holes in the binding and in each signature and sew them together. And before you know it, I think it took maybe 3 or 4 days, but then I think it's seriously 10 or 11 journals now. And it's awesome, and it's paper I like, so it's extra bonus, because you know sometimes when you buy the journals, you don't know if you'll like it or not, and this way, it's kind of cost effective, and then you know you like it. 10, 15. And then, yeah, so it's awesome. Well, it looks like we have lots more viewers. Welcome, guys. If you would like, in the comments, introduce yourself. You can put your website or your Instagram handle if you're an artist and you want to share and join. If you're just here to watch and learn some techniques, or just to hang out, and I know it can be relaxing to watch art, that's cool too. But we can connect over on Instagram. We are also, if you want to participate and you want to form a little community and see each other's work, we're using the hashtag, what did I say it was? Oh my goodness, it's stay-at-home art party. Thank you. Sorry, arting and thinking sometimes don't quite go together, but yeah. So anyway, we're having lots of fun talking art journals here. If anybody's joining your art journal, let us know below. And we have, I know we have Erica introduced herself, and Olina, and they are both avid art journalers, it looks like, or, you know, watercolor. They like watercolor quite a bit. So you could put your media that you like down, and mixed media. On Tuesday, I ordered some of Dina Wakley's products, and I'm going to come on they'll come in the mail Tuesday, so I don't know if it'll come on Tuesday PM or Wednesday morning or evening. Probably a little later since my son's homeschooling. But I'll show those. I got her blue journal. Do any of you guys have that? And then some of the Distress inks, the sprays. So I'm excited to use those. So it'll be fun to demonstrate those. And I think I got a couple of her gloss sprays as well. So they'll be a lot of fun to try out. So now I'm for serious going to add a little writing to this. And we'll be done with this page. I like to keep, I don't know, 20 minutes to 40. I'm talking, so this take about double the time. 25 to 30 minutes. You can get lost in it, though. It's so much fun, right? Oh, thank you, Alina. Yeah, Olina. So if you guys want to post things on Instagram, use that stay-at-home art party. And every once in a while on Instagram, I do a poll to see what time's best for everybody. I know sometimes people like to be on the live so they can ask questions. If you can't make the live, feel free to message me questions, or in YouTube, you can ask them in the comments. I am very good about answering those, so either way. So I'm going to go ahead and add the writing and be done with this. So Dina Wakley did a demo. She's been doing daily demos about asemic writing, and it's really cool. I've always done stream of conscious writing ever since Morning Pages. I think it was with Juliet Crane on The Artist's Way, and my writing's not legible when I do it because I just don't really want people to know my thoughts, and it's not that they're anything great or anything like that. It's just, you just kind of, I don't know, I was always private, like I didn't keep a diary, but anyway, so it's illegible. Well, she was talking about it, so it's called asemic writing, and that's what it is, a stream of consciousness. When you go back, you really can't read it, but it looks really pretty on your journal pages. So, like, we have this page has some, and this page, it looks I think it looks really artsy and pretty. But it was neat that she was talking about it. And I was like, oh, that's what I do. And it was just fun that it has a name. I've heard of stream of consciousness writing, but I hadn't heard the asymmetric writing. And I may have to read more about it. But she spoke about it, and she was giving some demonstrations. So it was really cool. So now I'm going to write a little something about home and community. And it'll just be stream of consciousness. Okay, and that's, so you can see the white's not showing up a ton there. I like it, but may go in. I'm gonna let that dry a bit. I'll go in. I did this last night too. I go in with my fountain pen, and I go over it too. That looks cool. It makes layers. So, I'm about ready to wrap this page up here. And you can catch the replay. It just goes on. I don't have to do anything. It'll be there. It downloads pretty quick. So if you missed the beginning and you want to check it out, we talk about how to set up this page and talk about creating art journals and things like that. Okay, so that will conclude our time today. I thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And again, if you want to try any of these techniques and post your pages on Instagram, you can feel free to tag me at Christy Dranak, or you can use the hashtag so everybody can see Stay at Home Art Party. Have so much fun, and again, thank you for being here. I'll be back on Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning. I may take a poll. It kind of also depends when my supplies arrive. So we'll look forward to hanging out again, and spread the word if you know anybody who'd enjoy learning some things about art journaling. I have some fun lessons up from Life Book 2018 as well. If you're interested in portraiture or lettering and some watercolor techniques, I set those up and release those for free since we're all at home. And I do have some classes on Jean Oliver. She charges for them. Every once in a while she does a 50% off, and she releases bits for free here and there too. So you can check those out if you're interested as well. And again, thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful day.